How are we going to get out of this mess? Hello, friends. Welcome back. My name is Eric. I want to talk a little bit today about how are we supposed to navigate the current waters in our society and in politics, in culture, and just in finding the truth in general. I have a story to tell. So, when I was posting my first couple videos, my wife, she asked me, she said, "Hey, what are some of the sources you have for some of the things that you're saying?" And I said, "Hey, that'd be a great thing to ask on the comments of the YouTube channel. So that way it actually it helps me in the algorithm and it helps bring the conversation to the front so people can actually talk about it." And so she did that. She posted her question, and I got the notification of the comment that she made, and all it said was, "What are some of your sources?" And the interesting thing is when I clicked on it, it took me to the video, and it takes you to your comments, and there was nothing there. So there's a notification there, but there's no comment on the video. So nobody else can see the comment. I can't even see the comment except for the fact that it was in my inbox of my notifications on YouTube. So what that tells me is that her comment, her question about what are my sources, it got erased. Probably by the YouTube algorithm, I would imagine. I'm not big enough for any one person at the Google headquarters to come after me and find what I'm saying. So I'm pretty sure it's the algorithm. So the thing is, I actually made a whole other video on this. And in that video, I was sharing my sources. I was talking about who I follow and who I get my information from. And I thought that would be pretty helpful for my audience. But then I got to thinking, there's a better way to navigate the truth, to navigate reality, and to figure out who's lying, who's telling the truth, who's hiding things, who's not. And surprisingly, maybe not surprisingly, it came back to the teachings of Christ. And one of his teachings, he talks about how there's going to be a lot of false prophets, wolves in sheep's clothing. But the key is, he said, by their fruits you shall know them. And so that's the key here. What does he mean by that? What he means is, a person can say one thing, but what is it that they're producing? What is the end result of what they're saying or doing? All right, what is the fruit? And that can be used across all kinds of different areas in life. What are the fruits? And so you can ask yourself about what are the fruits of the content that I am consuming. Right? So first off, I thought about politics, right? What are the fruits of the policies that are created by our politicians? And so you take a look at the cities. The big cities are usually, it's really run by Democrats. You look at Democrat-run states, and then you look at Republican cities and states. And obviously there's a distinct divide between the two parties, and we can get a pretty good estimate of what those particular policies do. Like, what are the fruits of them? Look at California. It's been a Democrat-run state for upwards of 50 years plus. What has the fruit been of those policies? Well, let's take a look at California. The crime rate is out of this world. COVID lockdowns still supposedly on. Nobody cares about them. Meth needles all over the ground. Homelessness just rampant. Joblessness. The divide between rich and poor, even bigger, a bigger divide. Hopelessness, drug addiction. And then you look at the fruits of what does a Republican area have that are for its fruits? Well, okay, let's look at Florida. Right? Very Republican state. It's red right now, currently. You got Governor Ron DeSantis running the place. He never shut the city down. What are the fruits of that? Well, their economy is still up and running. People are freer. They're not forced to wear masks. And the COVID numbers are again still relatively comparable to the rest of the country and the rest of the world. You have more opportunity, more economic growth, much less homelessness, right? The homelessness problem is nowhere near California. Now, obviously, you can take these two states and you can kind of play around with the numbers and swirl it around however you want to. But what I want to get is the principle of the matter. Like, what are the fruits? Now, there's some good fruits and some bad fruits of what the policies have created in these areas, right? But overall, what is the vast majority? What is the big picture fruits of these policies? Okay? In my opinion, Republicans are doing way better at everything on every level. Let's also take a look now. Let's also take a look at the fruits of the media that we consume. Let's look at mainstream media. What are the fruits of what they're saying? Are they sharing the news in a way that's objective and that leads us to be able to, as the public, make informed decisions and to know what our government's doing? Is it informing us, or are they driving a narrative? And what are the fruits of that narrative? And obviously, you know what I'm getting at. Mainstream media has a narrative that they're pushing, and it's all on the left-hand side of politics. And they want to silence the right-hand side of politics, the conservatives. And when you look at the fruits of that, what does it cause? Does it cause division, or does it unify us more as a country? I think our media should be unifying us as a country and giving us the information that we need and being very transparent about what is their narrative and what are the facts. So we need sources that not only give us the facts, but are upfront with their narrative, upfront with their opinions. Unfortunately, what you have to do right now when it comes to your news and your media, you have to look at multiple areas, multiple places, because it's really hard to find an unbiased source of news. The internet is literally designed for us to be put into echo chambers. So think about it. You follow some people and you don't follow others, and the algorithms know that. And so they keep feeding you the information that they know you're going to respond better to. So if you have a certain narrative that you follow and that you agree with, you're going to keep, watching sources that are going to fortify or support that narrative, right? So you really need, all of us, we need to look at both sources from the left and from the right. There are some sources that are a little more moderate for sure, but you have to get a variety of sources. And then, from that, you kind of have to parse it out for yourself and figure out what's going on. And you kind of have to trust your own eyes and ears and rely on your feelings. Unfortunately, you have to rely on how it makes you feel. What is the message that they're pushing? Now, obviously, some things are facts and they make you feel a certain way. Like the bomb that went off in Beirut a few months ago, right? That was a fact. There was video footage of it. It blew up like it was a big old mushroom cloud. It was crazy. That made me feel scared and like, whoa, what's going on, right? So certain facts create certain feelings, okay? But now I'm not talking about the facts. I'm not talking about the cut and dry, absolute truths that we can see with our own eyes and hear with our own ears. I'm talking about the narrative. What is that news person saying about the facts? Who are they blaming? Are they blaming someone? Who are they covering for? Are they covering for someone? And that is where you really have to check in with your gut. Same thing with social media. With social media, who are the people that are coming up in your feed? What are they saying? How does it make you feel? What are the fruits? Does it create more unity and peace and love, or does it create division, hate, anger, and just more chaos? And so we really have to guard ourselves as far as what we're taking in. Okay, but again, in the end, because it's so confusing, and because we know we're in echo chambers just because of the internet, it is really, really, it's almost impossible. It really is almost impossible to know what's the truth. Is what this person telling me true, or are they just shoveling some of the information and not giving me the full story? Like, the mainstream media is terrible at that. They are the worst at taking out the context and cutting a little clip and putting that on there and saying, "Oh, look at the Orange Man bad. Look what he did." And then when you find out the full context, you're like, "What? That wasn't bad at all what he said." So that's just what happens, right? So trust your gut. Trust your gut. It has never steered me wrong. I think that all of us have within us the capability of discerning truth. I really do feel that. And it comes down to your gut, honestly. You can think certain things and you can feel certain things. Your emotions can get you to a certain thought process. And the facts that you're taking into your mind can take you to a certain thought process. But in the end, if you're not listening to your gut and following that, it tends to lead you astray. I know that's how it's been with me anyways. So that's the one reliable source that I have found is, how does it make you feel inside? That's it. How does it make you feel? Then we can take it into our personal lives and the people directly around us that we interact with. So I look at my fruits and when I think about it, as far as the world is concerned, I have very few fruits. I'm not rich. I don't have a big old house. I don't have a amazing career that's like the best ever. Like, as far as the world is concerned, I don't really have much. However, as far as I'm concerned, I love the fruits that I have in my life. Now, I've had many mistakes. I've made many mistakes in my life, and I've had many bitter fruits from those mistakes. And it comes down to our choices. What fruits are these choices going to bring, right? So I feel like I've had my life, somewhat together for at least a good 10 years now. And when I look at the fruits of the good choices I've made over these past 10 years or so, it's amazing. There's very few fruits, but the quality of those fruits is beyond anything that I could imagine. The fruits that I see are my family. I have a good marriage. We communicate frequently. We love each other, and we show that love. My kids are amazing. I have 5 kids. All of them super, just great kids. They have made good choices up to this point. They're still somewhat young. My oldest is just creeping into his teen years. But so far, the fruits that I have seen in my own home bring me great joy. And that's all I need. That's good fruits. That tells me I need to keep going down this road. I need to keep building up and nourishing this tree of my family, so to speak. And then the fruits of the choices that I make outside of my family, right? My career choice, the way I work, the way that I have my attitude, right? These all bring fruits. And you can kind of see it on a day-to-day basis, and you can also look back at it on a long-term basis and look at the long-term fruits, right? Some fruits take a lot longer to grow, right? Like a family. It takes effort, time, energy. And the awesome thing is if you put your energy and your time into creating good fruits, something about that brings those fruits about. Like, the universe conspires to help you. And so that's another thing that I've seen in my life is when I'm making bad choices, the universe conspires to block me. It's like, it seems like everything I do is it just doesn't work, right? It brings about more frustration and sadness or negative feelings. And when I make good choices, it always feels good, even if it's hard. Even if it's like, hey, you got to work hard. You got to get blisters on your hand. You got to get slivers. You got to get up on scary ladders and all this stuff. It's hard, but man, the fruits that it brings are great. And so my invitation is to look at your fruits. What are the fruits of your life? Are they sweet or bitter? And why? You know, ask yourself why. Like what is the reason I have such bitter or sweet fruit in my life? And it all comes down to our choices. Again, personal accountability, personal responsibility. Every choice that you make leads to your fruits. Every choice that I make gives me fruits. Now, whether those fruits are good or bad, it's all based on the choice that we make. And so, when you're lost, when you're confused, when you're really questioning what you're hearing on the news or wherever you're hearing it, check in with the fruits of whatever it is that is. And that is the gauge. That is the gauge. Is this person sowing unity or are they sowing division? Is what this person saying going to build up and help our country, help the world, or is it going to tear us down? That's the question you got to ask yourself. And when you really check in with that, it makes it so much easier to discern the truth of what's going on in our world. And once we know that, we can make much better decisions moving forward. So that's all I had for you today. Hopefully that helps somebody. Hopefully it helps somebody find a little more peace in this chaotic world. And hopefully it helps to kind of bring a little bit more order to things and love and peace in your life. If you like anything I said, if you resonate with any of this, please do me a huge favor. Please leave a like the video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and hit the notification bell because that'll let you know when I have new videos coming out. It really helps me out. It's going to help grow this channel. And comment. Please comment. Let me know what you think. Am I on the right track? Am I totally off base here? I think Jesus said it right. He had the right idea. And there's a reason that good book has lasted for so long, because the principles that are taught in it are eternal. And if you follow them, it leads to good fruits. So anyways, I love you guys. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you on the next time.